this is it. We have spent 8 nights here at Fort Stevens with those guys across the street, these next door to us. And now I gotta try and get out of here past Alan's truck and not hit the stump. It's a very tight campground. Alrighty, here we go. It's been interesting to see all of the different rigs coming and going. There's been a lot of turnover here. Like these guys on the left that you can't see. Spent 2 nights straight ahead of us here on the right. Been a lot of in and out though. There's been a lot of traffic changes with people coming and going, so it's been kind of interesting to watch. And of course it's a campground that's got way too many sites, and sites, whoops, speed bump. Sites are a little difficult to get into, and my biggest issue with it, because I really don't like being under the trees. I know I've mentioned it before, but if you're new, I have SAD, that's seasonal affective disorder, and after about 2 days under the trees, I realized it was starting to affect me. So what's fun is, it's been cold because we're at the coast. Cold being a relative thing, it's actually been very nice for coastal weather, but we've had highs that have been in the upper 50s. I think we got to 61 like 2 days. I think today it's supposed to be 65. And I looked at the weather this morning, and there is a heat warning for California, Nevada, Oregon, Idaho, and I forget what else, Arizona. So where I'm going today, I think the temperature is going to be like 85 when we get there. And so that's good news, bad news, because I am really tired of being cold, but it's going to be kind of like going from one extreme to the other. All right, so we got to get rid of trash here, and then we have to go to the dump station. Okay, we're not doing recycle, we just want trash. Where's the actual trash? Trash is over here. Okay, so we're going to get rid of the trash, and then we're going to the dump station. And I think I'm going to pick you up on the way out.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
Well, I said I was going to pick you up after I dumped, but I want to give you the weather report and the date and the time and all that stuff. So today is Friday, May 30th. It is currently, well, Henry thinks it's 66 degrees outside, but I don't think that's true. I think it's probably about 63 or 4 maybe. And we are heading to the dump station first, and then we have to get fuel. And then once we get fuel, we're going to be on our way for our driving day, which is a total of 192 miles. We're going to Celilo Park, which is along the Columbia River, next to the railroad track, so it's going to be a pretty noisy night. But last time I was through this way, I did the same thing on the other side, on the Washington side, and stayed at Avery, and it was absolutely gorgeous and a lot of fun. So we're gonna basically do that again. Are we gonna have to wait? No, we are not going to have to wait for the dump station. Yay for that. So we're gonna have a way longer, oh, what's this guy doing? I thought I just saw somebody pulling out. I guess we are gonna have to wait for the dump station maybe. Is that guy getting potable water maybe? That might be what he's doing. So I guess while we're sitting here waiting, I'm going to figure out if we're stopping anywhere along the way or if we're just going to be getting on down the road. 9.96 mpg, close enough to call it 10. And hey, I bought that soda stream. Got my old one working again. I kept the soda stream, but I got 20 cents off a gallon on gas, so it was $3.69 a gallon. Gas is like super expensive here in Oregon, and I guess I'll be dealing with that for the next day or two or three, and then we'll see what happens as I move east and south again. And I don't think I've shown you Astoria yet, so I guess we'll leave it rolling. I'm not sure if we're going to get to see Astoria per se, or if we're going up on the bridge. Oh goody, it looks like we're not going on the bridge, I think. That makes me happier. A lot of Lewis and Clark National Park stuff on the other side of the river. We did a fair amount of that the day after we got here. Went to Cape Disappointment. The Vista House Museum was featured in the Goonies movie. There's lots of stuff around Astoria, of course, that was featured in the Goonies movie. I think we're almost out of town, maybe. We are going to have some beautiful views today, because we're going to be traveling along the Columbia River all day. So all of these yellow bushes that I kept thinking were forsythia are actually Scotch broom. I'm guessing that they're related to forsythia in some way, though. I should remember to look that up. And we just drove past a huge amount of it that went on for like a quarter of a mile, completely covering the left-hand side of the road. Well, I made snacks, and I looked at the map, and I'm taking the longer route, in part because it keeps me off of I-5, and it keeps me off the bridge, both of which make me happier. So even though it's a little bit longer, I don't really care. So that's what we're going to do. It might be worth mentioning for those who prefer slower speeds like I do, that part of the reason for not taking the ostensibly shorter route via I-5 that I didn't articulate clearly is the speed limit on the freeway is likely to be 70 miles an hour, and I'd still be doing 55 or 60. And so, although I did not check the actual mileage, even though Google said that the time would be faster to get to my destination, I'm not sure the mileage would. And by taking the byways, I'm actually doing the speed limit, which means I have a feeling it would probably turn out to be about the same time. And this is much more relaxing to me than pounding down a freeway. So there's that. And that's what works for me. You know, you may want to be on the freeways, you may want to go faster than I do, depending on what you're driving. But I really prefer to feel more relaxed. So, yeah, we're just taking our time. And when we started, when we were leaving Fort Stevens, which is only 61 miles ago up until this point, our destination arrival time was going to be 3 o'clock. Now, after having rejected Google's shorter route and the stop to make snacks and go to the bathroom, our arrival time is 3:38. So I imagine we're probably going to get there about 4 o'clock. We'll see. I'm not gonna stress over it one way or the other. It is daylight savings time. It will be light until at least 8 o'clock this evening. My only concern is what happens if the location that I've chosen turns out not to be acceptable, because I do not have a backup plan. I usually do, but in this case I don't. So we'll figure it out. Well, that's a pretty daggone nice view of Mount Hood. So at some point out here, we'll be entering the Columbia River Gorge. And we'll get some really good views then. Historical gateway to the gorge. And I don't think I did this the last time I was here. And of course Google's going to try and put me back on the freeway, which I don't want. This is Troutdale. Let's just use the whole bridge. I kind of understand why they did it. Okay. Google wants me to turn left. I guess we're going to do that because this is unclear. Yeah, it's going to put me back on the daggone freeway. Doggone it. That wasn't what I wanted. Oh well. I'll probably end up having to do this several times. Sure is pretty though. Look at this railroad bridge we're going to cross under. That's pretty cool. 14 feet 8 inches. Fortunately, I'm only 10 feet 1 inch. Columbia River Gorge, National Scenic Area. Yes, it is. Well, this is the exit for the Crown Point Vista House, which was originally built as a rest area. And it also said historic US 30, so I think from here I can just stay on US 30. We shall see. But the Vista House is worth seeing. I did go to that the last time I came through here. 10% uphill grade, next 1.5 miles. Which of course means it's going to be super steep coming down too, right? Because what goes up must come down. Pretty sure that's true. And we're not going to be able to go to Multnomah Falls. I don't know how you pronounce it. Because that requires a permit between the hours of, I think, 9 and 6. Which we don't have. And won't have. But we're going to just take our time going up here. Well, the speed zone just ended, so I guess it's okay to speed now. Oh, interesting. Detour west, US 30. Huh. Alright, I'll show you when we get up to the top. Okay, well, it's just starting to come into view, and it's pretty spectacular. Are we going to be able to park?
Slight right, then your destination will be on the left.
About right here. Maybe? Maybe not. I don't think we can park there. Okay, well, we're gonna have to come back around here to be able to park, I think. Quiet, 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 quiet. Kit, please stop. Oh, I guess you can get a shuttle up here from someplace. Okay, we got handicapped parking. Stop, stop, stop. Am I gonna be able to drive around here? Boy, I sure hope so. How tight is this? Pretty tight. I'm gonna back up. Okay, well, there was no place to park here. And kind of surprisingly, Google wants me to go back the other way. I'm not going to do it because I know I can go down here. We're going to go to Multnomah Falls. Even though we won't be able to stop there either. I don't know what time of day it was when I came here the last time, but I was able to park and we could walk around. I could walk around, didn't have him then. But today is not that day. Still glad we came up here though, because it's pretty spectacular to see, don't you think? And we're going to just wend our way back down the mountain. Leave the camera running on the off chance that we get some more spectacular views. This is a good motorcycle road. It's not a great motorhome road. I did not see any other vehicles my size on my way up here or in the parking area. Look at that. Wow. Just look at it. I was a little bit concerned because when we came up and I pulled in and I stopped at a parking lot to reorient myself and, you know, pee and get more drink. And then it said, so on the way up it had said US 30 West detour. And then when we turned to come back toward the Vista point, it said US 30 East detour. And I was afraid we were going to have to turn around and go back down the other way, but this looks like it's going to be fine. Let's try a different gear here. Fortunately, there's no one behind me, because we're just going to ease on down the mountain. Look at all the moss and the lichen and the ferns and the motorcycles. Yeah, really good motorcycle road. I guess let's just point out while we're driving down this incredibly curvy, steep road. So on the other side, on the way up, it said 10% uphill grade, which is a really, really big grade, guys. I don't know what it is going down. It's at least probably 7%, maybe more. But I want you to think about the fact that this was the highway. This was how you got out through the Columbia River Gorge for, I don't know how long. I don't know when I-84 got built, but this is how you did it. But it's switchback after switchback after switchback. And I do recall when I did this sometime, you know, a couple of years ago, I did finally find some place to be able to, Mikey pulled over a little bit to let him by. I did find some place where I could finally pull over with my other RV, which was smaller, and I was able to go for a hike. But I have a feeling that's not going to happen today. Well, this is La Tourelle Falls, and as you can see, there's no RV parking. That one pulled over on the side, but there isn't room on this side for me to do that. So we'll just keep going. Yeah, there may or may not be any place we can actually stop. And if we can't, that's okay. I just think it's quite pretty. Alright, look at this old bridge. Which falls is this one? Shepherd's Falls. And not much parking here. But look at this huge rock we're about to go around. Which hopefully is far enough away from me. Wow, this is something. I wonder if they cut it off to clear the roadway. They might have. Look at this moss-covered little bridge here. There was another waterfall up there. You can sort of kind of see the Columbia out there through the trees to the left, but not exactly. So I think chances are pretty good I'll let Google put us back on the highway, on the freeway in 8 miles. But we'll see. The view of the gorge is actually better from I-84 than it is from historic US 30. But I don't know, this is just so cool. That said, I'm getting pretty hungry. So we're 128 miles from the coast now. Well, about 133 or so from the coast itself. 128 from where we got fuel. Okay, what's this one? Bridal Veil. I think that's the hike that I did the last time because I can park in that parking lot. Yeah, that looks really familiar. But we're not going to do it this time. It was a good hike though. Probably a better hike than I'm capable of doing right now, come to think of it. It's fairly steep. Not terribly long. You would think that people would look at a larger vehicle on a bridge and think, huh, maybe I should wait and let them clear that first. But no. We're still pretty high up, although Garmin says we're only at 205 feet. I don't believe it. I think it's about 50 feet low. And it's always disconcerting to me how high something looks when you're not very far above sea level to begin with. Which one's this? Angel's Rest Trailhead. I wonder if I could park right there. Am I going the right way? Yes. I got a fairly good line of cars behind me, so perhaps I should find a place to pull over at some point. I'm not really holding up the parade though, because the closest one is pretty far back. And I think everybody is out here just enjoying the views. At least that's what I'm going to count on. Oneonta Falls. Oneonta Falls is 1/4 mile. Absolutely no foot traffic beyond this point. So I guess you can't walk to Oneonta Falls from that one. Interesting. Looks like it's been pretty freshly repaved. Pedestrians prohibited. Look at the bridge. Pylons. The edge of the bridge. Pretty cool looking. So no permit, no parking. And I think even if I gotten a permit, there's no parking. Really? Do you want to get out of the road? That was kind of ridiculous. This is like the biggest one and the most popular, so I'm going to turn the camera this way and maybe we get a glimpse of it as we go by. Very pretty, it's up there in the gorge, but I kind of doubt I'll ever get to see it unless I'm traveling with somebody else that has a toad and we can get a permit and yada yada yada. But I mean, frankly, there's so many people there, I'm pretty much not interested. I like these bridge pilings for the railing. Pylons. Railing? I don't know what it is, but it's cool looking. So Google thinks we're getting back on the freeway in 3.3 miles. Might let that happen so we can see more of the river. We've got 53 miles to the Dalles. And then our destination for the evening is beyond that. I can't remember exactly how far. Well, I think I stopped at this same location when I came through here the last time a few years ago. Because I remember thinking Oneonta reminds me of upstate New York. So here we are parked back here. I think there's actually parking on the other side of this as well. But Kit and I decided we needed to get out and stretch our legs at least just a little bit because I'm feeling a little stiff. And actually my sciatica is starting to kick up. And I'm sure that's because I've pretty much just been sitting in the driver's seat since like 11:30. Closed for public safety. It's pretty though. Oh good. Somebody put a hole in the fence so we can shoot through it. Isn't that pretty? Alright. So we're going to go walk through the little tunnel. I imagine the road used to go through the tunnel initially. Oh, let's go read the signs. And you'd think I could remember something I looked at 3 years ago, but I can't. This was an obstacle to engineer Samuel Lancaster. It stood in the way of constructing his highway any further east. The railroad occupied the only available land skirting around the formation. The basalt forming the bluff has frequent cleavages and is easily broken when disturbed. Some feared that the 125-foot long, 20-foot wide bore would leave too little natural rock to support the outer wall, and the entire formation would tumble down onto the railroad track. However, Lancaster devised a successful plan to stabilize the dice rock. They injected concrete into the crevices to hold the crumbling basalt together, thus permitting them to carry out their work with minimal rockfall. And so it was completed in 1914. I don't know if this is going to show up well or not, but that's what it looked like back in the day. It became the bridge to nowhere after the state filled the tunnel. So the road, that part of the road was bypassed in 1948. And that's the view of the west portal shortly after it was bypassed. It became the bridge to nowhere. And then the reopened tunnel was stabilized with rock bolts, mine straps, and shotcrete, whatever that is. The cedar lining and masonry portals reflect the 1914 design. Yes, they do. As you can see, maybe the glare and the leaf dappling is making it really hard to see anything. Sorry. All right, let's go through it. So this was the original road until they built the bypass. Tell you what, that sun feels awfully nice. I don't have, all I've got on is a tank shirt and shorts. Woohoo! And maybe I'll be able to walk off the leaf litter from the forest that's in my shoes, because there is so much crap around the entry step inside, all over the front end of the rig, which of course means it's all over the top too. And I just had it washed the day before I actually I think I had it washed the day I went there. No, the day before. Look at the lichen. That's pretty cool. Oh, and look at the basalt. Almost looks columnar, kind of like Devil's Postpile in Mammoth Lakes. Awfully pretty. Okay, so there's the view from this side. What do you think, Kit? Did you like the tunnel? Did you like the tunnel? You still looking for something to pee on? Okay. Doesn't he look pretty in the flowers? Yeah. So we could turn right and stay on the old road, but we're going to give it up and pick the speed up a little bit. Keep hoping we're going to get a decent water view. Oh, we're going to get a tunnel. Okay, keep watching. You're going to get a view of it. Can you see it yet? It's over there on the left. See it? There it is. It's pretty. Okay, well hopefully you can see part of the river here. Well, we're bending away from it. We're still very close to it. Well, the landscape has changed dramatically. We have left the forest behind and re-entered the desert. And oh, by the way, the temperature is 91 degrees outside. Well, I was only supposed to be 85. Oh well. I mean, the good news is I've been driving through the heat of the day, so I don't think I'm going to be very uncomfortable once we get stopped, which will be in roughly 4 miles, yay! Because I'm really hungry. There's another bridge down there. I assume that's a land bridge, but I guess it could be a, automobile bridge rather than a train bridge, but I don't know. I do not know. I do know I'm ready to stop driving though. Okay. Saw a few RVs over here.
Continue straight onto Celilo Park Road. In 800 feet, your destination will be on the right.
Okay, so I had been looking at the treaty fishing access site down to the right there. And I guess I can't actually go there, but this is the Corps of Engineers recreation area. There's a Class C, and whoops, campers, what's it say? I guess let's read the sign. Let's read the sign, shall we? Camping permitted April 1st to October 31st, 7-day limit. Tents are only allowed on Friday through Sunday. Okay.
Destination is on the right.
Alright, so let's figure out where we want to park. Day use only up there. So I guess I can camp down here. And yeah, I'm gonna flip around because there's a little playground. Is that the boat ramp down there? Can I camp down there? Let's go look. Let's go look down here, huh? The playground only has swings, so that won't be great for Kit. I don't think he can swing. Alright, so this is the boat ramp. So unless we want to park in a parking place, we're not going to go to the boat ramp. But we'll probably walk down here later. This afternoon or tomorrow morning. Okay. Nice enough. Can't park over here. There are dumpsters, so that's good. I think I'm going to do what that other Class C did. And unless I want to go over here by this one here. Probably not. That's kind of close. We'll go this way. Please do not park campers sideways. Please use the longer trailer parking places. Well, not ideal, but it's about as close to level as I'm going to get. So we're going to call this home for the night and hope this guy doesn't decide to run his truck all night long. So we got the freeway view up ahead of us, but when I open the door, I'll be looking out at the river, and I'm okay with that. Well, the sun's thinking about going down, and for tonight, this is where we live. Oh, wait. It's a parking lot. I think it'll be fine. There are trains that come through here every couple hours. Look at the beautiful cliff sides up there. We've had a couple of dogs out running around loose. That's been a little bit concerning, and so I've been waiting quite a while to take Kid out, because really I wanted to let him run around loose, and I might be able to do it now. Kit, come here. Come. Would you like to be free? Wait. Free. There we go. Well, he's not super runny. But he's doing puppy things. Let's go this way, Kit. Come on. Come. And, according to Henry, it was 93 degrees when we got here a little bit after 5 o'clock. It says it's 83 now, but I have to say, I'm feeling very comfortable. Kit! Come! Good boy. Good boy. Come on. Come on. Come to me. I know there's a lot to smell, but come to me. Good job. A little bit of a breeze. And I am so grateful to be able to just have a tank shirt and shorts on instead of multiple layers, long pants, all the stuff. Yeah, I'm liking it. So the Avery boat ramp that I stayed at on the other side, probably about 15 miles further west, I think. I like that better because I was parked right in front of the river, and it wasn't just a parking lot like this is. That was actually a boat ramp. Oh, but I wonder, can we get all the way down to the water? Did I lose my dog? No, he's still here. How hard is it to get all the way down to the water? He had so much fun playing on the beach at the ocean, walking up to the waves as they're rolling in, and then running away from them. Look at that sunset coming on, guys. Isn't that beautiful? It really is a beautiful area, without a doubt. So when I came in, there was a Class C parked down here on this side of the parking lot. Actually, I think they might have moved up there, or that might be somebody else. And they've either moved or left. So we got this van over here, and there's another van down there. So you can camp here. Looking for my puppy dog. You can camp here for 7 days at a time in a 30-day period. We will be leaving in the morning, of course, because I don't really want to live in a parking lot next to a railroad track and a freeway. But it sure is beautiful. And then we'll go see what else we can see tomorrow that's beautiful. How about that? I might go walk down to the boat ramp tonight.